Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up in just a few minutes, we have our influencer segment brought to us by Animoca Brands. And today we are featuring the amazing Jamal Hill. Jamal is an American Paralympic swimmer who represented the U.S. at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, where he won a bronze medal. He also won the same medal in June at the World Championships. Now, Jamal was born with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, which is a group of inherited disorders that cause nerve damage. Now, while growing up, he hid CMT from everyone, learning how to walk without giving off any sign, despite feeling as if he were balancing on two peg legs. CMT often affects the peripheral limbs and can result in smaller, weaker muscles, loss of sensation, and muscle contractions. When Jamal made it onto the Team USA Paralympic swimming roster back in 2018, he knew that he wanted to offer the world more than just a view of him winning medals. And he decided that the best way to do this was to use his expertise and truly serve others by teaching 1 million people to swim around the world, beginning with his home city of LA. And for 2 years, Jamal conducted extensive research and development, training individuals who either self identified or had family members that identified them as aquaphobic, with the aim of creating a learn to swim curriculum that could effectively serve even the most apprehensive of students. Today, the Swim Uphill organization is a social justice driven 501c3 nonprofit providing specialized swim education tailored to the specific needs of low to middle income communities, which continue to be affected by disproportionately high drowning rates. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you so much, then. Appreciate it. Happy to be here. Mercury is in retrograde, so we know it's a miracle.
Bless you. You are currently still competing. You're active in the foundation and living your best truth. Let's chat swimming, CMT, and the foundation. Talk to me about when you first realized you had a disability and why you chose to hide this.
Oh, man. When I first realized I had a disability, I was 10 years old, and I found out on Thanksgiving. It was such a shock that I did not eat Thanksgiving dinner that night. Instead, we spent the night in the hospital, and then spent the next, like probably couple weeks of nights in the hospital because I pretty much got complicated into this paralytic state, right? Like my arms, my legs, nothing could move other than my head, which I think is like why my head ended up getting so big. It was the only thing that could get any exercise at that time. But it was a once in a, well, I won't say once in a lifetime experience, but up until that point, it was a once in a lifetime experience. And it's 2022 now, right? Got to check in with the year. A lot has changed over the past decade, over the past 2 decades. Disability has become a lot less of a taboo subject, just like things like race, gender equality have, taken more of, I guess, like a public interest, a public awareness. So when I was a kid, you know, with respect, a lot of disability for most people was like still put into a literal closet, right? Like we don't want to see this. We don't, really want this integrated with other things. So it was a big point of shame. I think it was a big point of shame for me. And I'm sure it was in some ways like a point of shame or a point of contention for my family.
Interesting, and here you are all these years later, demystifying the stigma, living out your truth. What physical limitations do you currently have, and how does CMT affect you?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a bit loaded because I've built a pretty strong mind and spirit, so I'd like to sit here and say I have no limits. Um, but, but in reality, let's say I have 0% nerve conductivity from my knees to my soles of my feet. So twist my ankles a lot. I've probably, sprained, twisted, severely injured my ankles over 200 times, spend more time on crutches than most people. In my arms, I have about 30% nerve capacity from my elbows to my fingertips. So I definitely don't text in bed with the phone over my face because I'll drop it. Let's see. I usually lean towards like plastic glasses and things like that because I dropped them. That really is kind of the extent of it. So use some interesting language. It's pretty much like walking on peg legs and like just being the extremely clumsy friend.
It's interesting, the Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, which
Mhm.
is, we were speaking about the name, it's named after an actual person. That's where the weird name comes in. But it's funny because I was reading a quote by Max Dupree, and the quote, and I love this quote, is, "We cannot become what we want to be by remaining what we are." And that kind of really just defines you and the journey that you've come, and you've come a very long way, my friend. Let's chat foundation. So
Mhm.
low income communities continue to suffer year after year because the problems they face are really founded, it's said best, in generational trauma
Mhm.
and a consistent lack of access to communal water features, so to speak. Your organization uniquely fills this gap through aquaphobic specific trauma healing techniques and a home based learn to swim, so to speak, curriculum that involves parents in the education process and doesn't require a pool in order to build these basic swimming skills. What is your mission, and how many people have you taught to swim to date?
Absolutely. So our mission is to be teaching 1 million people all around the world every single year how to swim. So it's grown since its inception in 2018, which the original mission was just to teach a million. But we've been having such incredible success with our partners and things like that. The foundation is scaling on a factor of 4. So that very first year, we taught 500 students. That second year, we reached about 2,000 students through ourselves internally and our partners. Last year, we reached 8,000. So this coming year, we'll be moving up to 32,000 students every single year. So come 2028, I don't know if we got any mathematicians listening in today, but come 2028, we'll be up to about 1.5 million students every year. And that's not just in the United States, that's across the entire world. We actually just opened up a new program in Southern America, Northern Colombia. We got some programs, the Atlantis Project that's going to be going on in North Africa and some coastal regions of Portugal this coming year. So we're well on our way. But yeah, that's where we are now. Right now, we're at 8,000 a year, and the goal is to be next year at 32,000 annually.
Beautiful. I love the drive. I love the ambition. Now, you co-authored a book, A
Mhm.
Bowl, a Bench, and a Bucket, Learn to Swim in 5 Hours. It's a
Mhm.
training manual at the heart of your mission. Talk to me about this manual.
Absolutely. The manual is it's actually been pulled. It's actually been pulled and it's been revised. The revised version is going to be coming out actually at the end of this month, so that's very exciting. Great plug there, Zen.
Yep.
Ultimately, what this book does, it shares some of my experiences, personal anecdotes with water, with fear, with family, with traumas, and then it also breaks down this 5-hour learn to swim curriculum, puts it in a format that anyone who's afraid of water, has a kid that they want to learn how to swim, or even maybe is an instructor and just wants to increase their capacity for service, lays out literally a roadmap to get someone from can't swim to they can swim well enough to save their life. And once you get there, the possibilities are pretty much endless. Right now you're in this. I call it like a building. It's like a
Yeah.
building. All these doors, all these opportunities, kayaking. But in order to get in, you got to be able to swim. So boom, we kick down that door with this book.
I love it. Napoleon Hill said it best. There are no limitations to the mind except those that we acknowledge. So, this fits right into your mindset. What have you learned from this journey?
What have I learned from this journey? Super corny, super cliche. What I've learned is that it's all about the journey. Yeah, that's what I've learned from this journey. It's all about the journey. Yeah,
And
you
what's the
got
best advice you can give to this generation?
the best advice I can give to this generation is, dude, just don't live with any regrets. Like that. That's it. If you come to a point and you're thinking about doing something crazy, crazy being very, subjective, but you're thinking about doing something crazy, thinking about doing something worthwhile, something that literally can impact and change your life, the lives of the world, but you're not sure if it's going to work out or not, really doesn't matter. You just need to do it. That's it. Like you just need to do it. That's what drove me. I came to this point where it's like, man, I think I want to be a pro swimmer. I think I want to help in drowning. I wonder if I could really do it or not. I don't know, but I tell you what, I won't be 50 looking back like, dang, I should have tried that.
You are so on it and inspirational. And now these quotes are coming to mind. Toba Beta, the finite mind tries to limit the infinite. So
Mm.
there you go. What is your relationship like with your mom?
It's good. It's good. I recently moved out, so it's been a lot better. But me and my mom are great, man. She's definitely always been Jamal's number one fan.
Yeah.
If anyone out there has a great mom, then you know just like the woes that come with having a great mom, right? Just probably too involved, cares too much. So nothing bad to say about it. We have a great relationship. Literally would not be the man I am today
Oh,
without
I love it. You give me chills. Yeah, well, I was gonna say you can't have all of this under your belt without
her.
a great mentor. So
No.
big, big kudos to mom. Shout out to you, mom. Good job. You've raised a fine young man, a superstar, an athlete, and an inspiration to others. And with that, we are out of time. But I want to thank you so much for coming on. You are an inspiration, Jamal.
Thank you, Sam.
Guys, that was our influencer segment brought to us by Animoca Brands. Definitely check out Jamal Hill. Listen, far too many people don't excel in life because they are too afraid of taking the necessary steps to achieve their dreams. Some manifest fear as a safeguard from failure. Others don't even try, believing that they are restricted by limits, while too many get caught up in the status quo. But not Jamal. He has proven that he is here to stay, a trailblazer, an athlete, and so much more. Definitely check him out. Go to swimuphill.org. Check out on the gram at swimuphill or swimuphill.org, exactly the way it sounds. The human spirit is like an elastic band. The more you stretch, the greater your capacity. The only limits in your life are those that you set yourself. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this.